MATCHROOM CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, promoter of former unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, has some interesting things to say about Anthony Joshua potentially quitting in the fight versus Andy Ruiz. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, MATCHROOM CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn has some interesting things to say about Anthony Joshua and his fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. He claims everybody saw it and everybody thought that Anthony Joshua somewhat retired, right? He quit, so to speak, right? Eddie Hearn put it in a different way. He didn't want to say that he outright quit, but Eddie Hearn said that he believes that Anthony Joshua was happy that he lost to Andy Ruiz. And he feels like, a burden has been lifted off his shoulders. A weight has been lifted off his shoulders. And he's happy that he took the loss to Andy Ruiz. He says that Anthony Joshua is the biggest star in UK boxing star in UK boxing history. And, there's a lot of pressure on him. And he feels like he's somewhat happy and relieved that he lost the fight. He no longer has to, worry about all the pressure. Here's what Eddie Hearn had to say, quote, Anthony has this massive pressure on his shoulders all the time. Eddie Hearn said, he is the first mega star of boxing in this country, and it was almost like a relief to him. He will never admit it. He will never admit that, but he's the challenger now. I'm not this champion who has 4 belts and who everyone expects me to win all the time. It's kind of like the pressure is off of him, right? So I'll read that for you again because I got a little tongue tied with it, right? Eddie Hearn said, quote, Anthony has this massive pressure on his shoulders all the time. He is the first megastar of boxing in this country, talking about the UK, and it was almost like a relief to him. He will never admit that, but the fact that I am the challenger now, I am not this champion who has 4 belts and everyone expects me to win all the time. It's kind of like the pressure is off of me. End quote of what Eddie Hearn had to say, right? So Eddie Hearn is admitting that, Anthony Joshua, now has, so he feels like, the pressure is on Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua felt like the pressure was on him. And they just reiterated what we all been thinking, is that Anthony Joshua was relieved that he lost the fight. He was somewhat happy that he lost the fight. The weight is lifted off his shoulders, as I told you guys. Now Eddie Hearn is coming out and stating that, and he believes that his fighter, Anthony Joshua, is happy that he lost to Andy Ruiz and the pressure is lifted off his shoulder. He no longer carries around the burden of being the undefeated, unified heavyweight champion and this big star that's just indestructible, and can't be beat. All that's pressure. That's not for everybody. Floyd Mayweather thrived on that type of pressure, but that's not for every fighter, right? Some guys need that. They need to fall so they could get back up, right? And so this is the situation with Anthony Joshua, point blank and period. You could see in his body language after the fight, he was just happy. He was too complacent with the fact that he lost all his titles. He was too overly congratulatory towards Andy Ruiz Jr. He was too happy to congratulate him and, tonight is Andy Ruiz night and things of that nature. That just wasn't the mindset of a guy that just lost all his belts, and as a competitor, most boxers, women and men, you'll see them, they're weeping after the fight. They're crying after the fight. They're distraught after the fight. Anthony Joshua was happy. He was joyed. He was overly joyed. He was congratulating Andy Ruiz. He was shaking everybody's hand. He was happy to be in the moment, and not even the fact that he lost bothered him. That says it all, right? And so now Eddie Hearn comes out and he just reiterates what we already knew. And for Eddie Hearn to be his promoter and said this, that says a lot. That lets us know. I did a video yesterday and told you what Frank Bruno had to say. Frank Bruno said that it was scary the way his body language was, and the fact that he was just happy and complacent with the fact that he lost his belts, and praising Andy Ruiz Jr., right? And Frank Bruno said he don't even know if he could get back. Eddie Hearn feels like he could get back, but Eddie Hearn, as the promoter, you see that your fight is relieved of all the pressure, and he's just happy-go-lucky now. He doesn't have the pressure on his shoulders, and you're forcing him back into an immediate rematch. This is the reason why people are citing the fact that Anthony Joshua will lose the rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. because I don't believe he's going to have the correct mindset going into the rematch, point blank and period. Eddie Hearn sees the pressure was off him. That means something. You're supposed to look at that as the promoter and say, this guy may need a break. You know, don't push him back into an immediate rematch because it's what's best for your promotional company. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Eddie Hearn says Anthony Joshua will never admit to him, but he was happy that he lost to Andy Ruiz. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love. Mwah.